Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hi, welcome to my story time. Good morning. Hello, welcome. My name is Kate, and I am a children's librarian at the Howe Library. And I'm so glad that you're here with me today. So glad that you're here with me today. It's a beautiful, blustery day out there, isn't it? And I'm glad that we can share this time together. Just as a heads up, if we have time, we're going to try to do a song at the end that includes sticks. So if you have any sticks, or if you can get your mom or dad or brother or sister to get you some sticks. These are rhythm sticks from work, but also think that spoons would work. If you have any spoons, that would be great. Or even metal spoons, anything that you can tap together like this. Okay? So once you keep getting those ready, we won't use them until the end of the story time. So let's get started, okay? And we'll do our opening song. It goes like this. If you'd like to read a book, clap your hands. If you'd like to read a book, clap your hands. If you'd like to read a book, listen up and take a look. If you'd like to read a book, clap your hands. If you'd like to read a book, wiggle your nose. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If you'd like to read a book, wiggle your nose. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If you'd like to read a book, listen up and take a look. If you'd like to read a book, wiggle your nose. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If you'd like to read a book, wriggle like a worm. If you'd like to read a book, wriggle like a worm. If you'd like to read a book, listen up and take a look. If you'd like to read a book, wriggle like a worm. Great job. Great job. So thank you for joining me. And let's see. So this morning I was out in my garden and I was doing some weeding and just checking around on things and getting my hands dirty. That's one of my favorite things about gardening is getting my hands dirty. Do any of you have a garden out there? Do any of you have gardens? Maybe you have a garden in your backyard. Or maybe you have a garden over at your grandparents' house or an aunt or uncle's house. There's lots and lots of different kinds of gardens. And today we're going to read a book about a garden and learn about different creatures that live in the gardens. Because it's not just the old vegetables and flowers. But different kinds of gardens. Yes, there are vegetable gardens where you grow vegetables. There's flower gardens. There's herb gardens. Maybe some of you grow mint or basil. And, it looks like Julia says she has a garden in her backyard. That's great, Julia. That's great. Do you have a vegetable garden? Or do you have flower garden? Maybe you could let me know what you grow in your garden. There's also gardens that are indoors. Maybe you have a whole lot of a whole lot of flowers and plants on your windowsill. Or maybe you live in a neighborhood and you have a community garden where lots and lots of different people get together and garden in one plot. That's called a community garden. Or maybe you have a fairy garden with little chairs and little houses for the fairies to come visit at night. Well, there's lots of different kinds. And the first book I'm going to read is about a girl who gardens in the middle of the city. It's hard to believe. Hard to believe. We're going to find out how she does that. But it's very easy to have a garden in the middle of a city. And maybe you live in the middle of the city and have one. You could tell me about that. But I like this book. It's very simple. It's beautiful illustrations. It's by Eve Bunting, and it's called Flower Garden. And let's see how she does this in the middle of the city. Flower Garden. Ooh, somebody just said that it's Julia. She has peas, carrots, kale, pumpkin, spinach, mesclun, and flowers. Oh my gosh, Julia, you have a lot in your garden. That is so great. And I bet you like to get your hands dirty. Okay, so let's get started. Garden in a shopping cart. Doesn't it look great? See the girl, she's in the store and she's buying those flowers in their little 6-packs. Garden on the checkout stand. I can hardly wait. Garden in a cardboard box. Walking to the bus. There they are, right? Walking down the street in the city. She's got her arm full of flowers. Garden sitting on our laps. People smile at us. And there they are. Can you tell that they're on the bus? I think there's the driver, and she's holding her flowers on her lap. Garden going up the stairs, stopping at each floor. This garden's getting heavier. At last, our own front door. Why do you think she's sitting on the floor like that? I think she had to walk up a lot of flights of stairs to get to her apartment. That box of flowers must have gotten heavy. Hurry, hurry, get the trowel, spread the papers thick. Get the bag of potting soil, get the planting mix. And there they are. And see, here's the window box, just like that. They don't have a backyard, so they're going to put their flowers in a window box. Let's see how she does it. Put purple pansies at each end. Daisies white as snow, daffodils, geraniums, and tulips in a row. Garden in a window box, high above the street. Look at that. They're way up high in their apartment, and they put it right out on the windowsill like that. And can you see down, 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 the bottom, where the street is? Where butterflies can stop and rest, and ladybugs can meet in her garden box. And that's a beautiful picture, isn't it? And there she is. And can you see on her hand, right on the back, is a little ladybug. You see that? So even in a city, you can have butterflies and ladybugs. Walkers walking down below will lift their heads and see purple, yellow, red, and white, a color jamboree. And can you see the window box way up high? Yeah, there it is. And look at all the people looking. Nice thing to do in the city. And there's the girl looking down. Candles on a birthday cake, chocolate ice cream too? Happy, happy birthday, Mom. A garden box for you. Oh, it was a present. It was a present that the girl and her dad made. And there they are. Looks like it's the end of the day. They've had their cake and they're admiring their beautiful flower box that they made. Beautiful flower garden. The end. So I like this little book about gardening in the middle of the city. So if you have an apartment, if you live in an apartment in the city, maybe you can make a flower garden just like this girl. Yeah, that would be nice. So I wanted to bring in to share with you some of the gardens that are, some of the vegetables that are in my garden, in my backyard. And Julia, maybe you're growing some of these same, you are growing some of these same things. So here are some, this is a bean plant. This is a bean plant. That's what it looks like. This is a very young bean plant. Believe it or not, when this grows up in another few weeks, months maybe, they're going to make green beans. Yay! So from this little plant, you get these green beans. I love green beans. And here is a tomato plant. little tomato plant. It's going to grow a lot bigger, a lot bigger. When it grows up, it's going to have tomatoes. Isn't that fun? Tomatoes come from this plant. Oh, and does anybody like potatoes? This is a potato plant I dug up this morning. And here's a potato, but potatoes, did you know, they don't grow on the top like tomatoes and beans. They grow under the soil. So at some point, this plant, when it gets bigger, will start producing potatoes under the soil, and you get to dig them up in the fall. It's so fun. And my last plant I wanted to share with you is a little cucumber. It's a cucumber plant, and it's going to vine up. And this is a big, big cucumber. I don't think this plant can make a cucumber this big. I got this in the grocery store, but that's what it's going to make. And of course, like Julia, we can't forget the flowers. Yeah. So I just wanted to share some of those things that you can grow in your garden, and get your fingers dirty. It's a lot of fun. So the next thing I want to do is talk about how it's not just vegetables and flowers that grow in the gardens. There's also lots of other creatures that are in gardens. And this is a fun little song that introduces us to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to clap and hit our knees. Okay, clap. It goes like this. There's something in my garden. Now what can it be? There's something in my garden that I can't really see. I hear its funny sound. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Any guesses what that might be? Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. A frog. Frogs like to live in gardens. Toads more. But frogs spend some time, usually toads come to gardens to eat the insects. Yeah. Okay, great. There's something in my garden. What can it be? There's something in my garden I can't really see. I hear its funny sound. Wriggle, 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 wriggle. A caterpillar. Caterpillars like to hang out in gardens, and sometimes they even eat your plants, which is too bad. There's something in my garden. Now what can it be? There's something in my garden that I can't really see. I hear its funny sound. Tweet, 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 tweet. Any guesses what makes that sound? What might visit a garden that goes tweet, 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 tweet? A bird. That's right. Tweet, 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 tweet. Birds like to hang out in your garden sometimes because they like to eat the insects that visit your garden. Tweet, tweet. Good guess, good guess. There's something in my garden. Now what can it be? There's something in my garden I can't really see. I hear its funny sound. Flutter, 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 flutter. Flutter, 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 flutter. What do you think that is? Flutter, flutter, flutter. A beautiful butterfly. Yeah. Butterflies like to visit your flowers. Butterflies like to visit your flowers and drink the nectar. Yeah. Have you ever seen a butterfly in your garden? You should keep your eyes open. There's something in my garden. Now what can it be? There's something in my garden that I can't really see. I hear its funny sound. Buzz, buzz. Any guesses what that might be? Any guesses what might be in your garden buzzing around? If you guessed bee, you were right. Usually bees are yellow, not orange, but he was so cute. A little bee, and they like to go from flower to flower to flower to flower, pollinating the flowers. That's right. There's something in my garden. Now what can it be? There's something in my garden I can't really see. I hear its funny sound. Squeak, 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 squeak. Any guesses what that might be? Squeak, squeak, squeak. A mouse. Yeah, this is kind of a goofy looking mouse, but it's the only one I could find. Mice like to come into the garden and eat seeds, don't they? Yes, they do. They often eat the seeds on the ground and other things. They might nibble on some of the vegetables. They might even nibble a plant stalk right off. Wonder if Julia's ever had plants that have been nibbled by mice. There's something in my garden I can't really see. There's something in my garden. Now what can it be? I hear its funny sound. Thump, 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 thump. What animal goes thump, 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 thump when it's alarmed? A rabbit. Rabbits, as we all know, love gardens. Yes, they do. Especially this rabbit. This is Peter Rabbit, and he's got a carrot. Yes, he loves his carrot. Carrots, but carrots don't love rabbits because rabbits eat them all up. Okay, the last one. There's something in my garden. Now what can it be? There's something in my garden I can't really see. I hear its funny sound. Hoo, 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 hoo. Hoo, 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 hoo. This one comes out at night. Any guesses? Hoo, 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 hoo. An owl. What do you suppose an owl is doing in the garden? Yeah, owls come at night and swoop down and grab those little mice and other things like that. So owls are great to have near your garden. So those are just a few of the creatures that come by your garden, and you might find in your garden sometimes. Some are great to have there and some aren't so great. They're considered pests. But another thing that is in your garden, and I brought in to visit, in this bowl, in this dirt. Any ideas what might be in this dirt that's alive? There's a lot of them in the dirt. If you guessed, okay, it's going to be a little hard to find them. If you guessed, where'd they go? If you guessed, here we go, a little teeny worm. A worm. If you guessed worm, you are right. Let me see if I can find a bigger one crawling around in here. Anyway, while I'm looking for my worms that seem to have gotten very shy suddenly, but that's okay, I wanted to share with you some really cool worm facts. Worm facts. Did you know that worms have no eyes? That's right. Oh, this is such a teeny little worm. Oh my goodness. You see it wriggling around there? Come on, little worm. I can do better than that. Worms have no eyes, but they have very, very sensitive skin. And in fact, they are so sensitive, they can sense the light through their skin. And instead of eyes, they have photosensitive skin, and they can sense the light and the dark, and that's why they're very sensitive to the light and the dark, and that's why they like to go underground, spend some time underground. Here's a worm. There we go. They are a little sad to be in my container in the house. I'm going to put them out and back in the garden when we're done. But I wanted to show you these guys. Yeah, there's a nice looking worm. There's a nice looking worm. So, worms have no eyes. They have no arms or legs, as you can see. Oh, look, that made an S. No arms or legs. They have little teeny bristles on their skin that help them move. I can't even see them. You have to look through them with a magnifying glass. They have no lungs. Believe it or not, these guys have no lungs. They cannot breathe the way we breathe. They actually breathe through their skin. Believe it or not. Isn't that amazing? And that's why it's so important to hold worms really carefully, because their skin is sensitive. It's sensitive to light. They're doing all this breathing through their skin. So if you ever find a worm, that's great. It's so cool to look at them up close. But you want to be very, very gentle with them. Let's see, what else about worms? They're scavengers. Scavengers, which means they eat things that used to be alive but are dead now, like leaves and grass and stuff. And so they eat those. As they go through the soil, they eat all these dead things. And they poop out enriched soil. Isn't that kind of amazing? They poop out soil. And it's not just soil, it's really enriched soil. So if you have worms in your garden, you're really, really lucky. It makes your soil much better. It aerates it, makes it nice and soft and fluffy, and it also enriches it with their poop. And worms are all over the place. There's so many worms in the soil. If you have healthy soil, there can be more than 1 million worms in an acre of soil. Here's a worm that's a little more active for a worm. 1 million worms in an acre. So they're everywhere under our feet. So next time you're in your garden, do a little digging and see if you can find a worm, but handle it carefully. So there we go. I'll say goodbye to them and I'll put them out in the garden as soon as we're done. The next book that I want to read is a silly little book, and it's about a crocodile who he ate something and he gets a little scared about it. He ate a watermelon, and let's see what happens. It's called The Watermelon Seed, and it's by Greg Pizzoli. Have any of you ever had a watermelon and swallowed the seed by mistake? Yeah, I know I have. Did you ever wonder what happens in your stomach? Well, let's find out what this little crocodile does. Greg Pizzoli, The Watermelon Seed. And I love these pages on the front and the back. Watermelon seeds. Oh, there he is. I love watermelon. Chomp, 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 chomp. It's the best. Ever since I was a teeny tiny baby crocodile, it's been my favorite. Chomp, 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 slurp, slurp, slurp. I like it for breakfast. I like it for lunch. I like a big salty slab for dinner. And I love it for dessert. Any of you like watermelon? I know I do. I just love watermelon. Gulp. Look at his little face. What happened? What do you think happened? I just swallowed a seed. I swallowed a seed. It's growing in my guts. Soon vines will be coming out of my ears. My stomach will stretch and stretch. My skin will turn pink. I don't want to be in a fruit salad. Look at him. Somebody please help me. Oh. Grumble, 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 grumble. Look at that. His tummy's rumbling. His tummy's rumbling. What do you think might happen? Oh no! I can feel it growing inside me. It's happening right now. My stomach feels funny. What do you think's gonna happen? Burp. Oh my goodness, he just had a biggest burp ever. Look at that. Burp. And what? Ah, look what came out of his mouth. He burped out the seed. Oh, here's the seed. Oh, whew, that was way too close. No more melon for me. Never again. No more watermelon. Well, maybe just a teeny tiny bite. Chomp, 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 chomp. And what happened again? We can only guess. But look at those two rinds at the bottom. What happened again? That's a cute little book. I love that. I always think about, what does happen when you swallow a watermelon seed? So, yeah, that's fun. Let's see. I have one. Oh, did any of you get your sticks? Did you get your spoons? Because we could do a nice little song about ants. Ants are another thing I forgot to mention that are in gardens often, scurrying along the ground, carrying things. And if you haven't already and you want to get some spoons, wooden, metal, it doesn't matter, sticks, forks, whatever, just a couple things. And we will do the ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching one by one, the little one stopped to suck his thumb. And they all go marching down into the ground to get out of the rain. You can bang your sticks on the ground. Bum, 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 the ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching two by two, the little one stopped to tie his shoe. And they all go marching down into the ground to get out of the rain. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, the ants go marching three by three, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching three by three, the little one stopped to climb a tree. And they all go marching down to the ground to get out of the rain. Bum, 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 the ants go marching four by four, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching four by four, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching four by four. And that's all there is no more. And they all went marching down into the ground to get out of the rain. Yay! That's a great song, and you can count all the way up to 10 or 20, and it can go on forever. It's a really fun song. So, let's see. I think that will do it for today. I wanted to thank the publishers that let us read their books in this format. Thank you so much to Hyperion and Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. We really appreciate you letting us read them online like this. So thank you so much. I want to show you an art project that you could do if you like to do art projects, which I love to do art projects. This is my carrot garden, and it's very simple. All you do is take a paper plate, and then you take another paper plate, cut it in half, and you staple or tape the half to the bottom, like so. And then I cut up just a bunch of brown paper to make it look like dirt, colored it, and I decided to plant carrots in my garden. So I had fun making these two carrots, and then you can plant them, and there they are growing. But you could grow anything in your garden if you wanted. Tomatoes, flowers, herbs, whatever you want. So that's a fun little art project. Hopefully things that you can find in your own house. Okay? So take some time and make one if you want to. It would be really fun to hear if you did do that. Really fun to make art projects, for sure. And let's see. So make sure that if you have a garden, that you get out there and look for all the different creatures that are in the garden and get your hands dirty. It's so much fun. And if you don't have a garden, well, maybe from a little bit that you learned today, maybe you can convince your parents that you could have a little tomato plant or a little bean plant and have a garden inside or a flower box. It's really easy. It's really easy and fun to get your hands dirty. So let's do our closing song, okay? And it goes like this. See you later, alligator, in a while, crocodile, give a hug, ladybug, blow a kiss, Jellyfish, see you soon. Big baboon, out the door. Dinosaur, take care. Polar bear, wave goodbye. Butterfly. So thank you so much for coming, and I hope that you enjoyed learning about our little wriggly friends in here and learning some cool facts about worms. Worms are the coolest little things, wherever they are. Coolest little things, fun facts about worms. Okay, have a great week, and I hope you get to get your hands dirty. Bye-bye.